Good afternoon, Mal Plussers. A very happy Tuesday to you all. And welcome to today's quiz. With only 4 games to go, there's not much time left to secure a win, so strap yourself in, get a refreshment ready as we enter the final few days of the Mal Plus Trivia Live. If you've not played with us before, let me introduce myself. I'm your host, Melissa Hartzel, and I'll be walking you through today's game where every question you get correct is another step towards winning yourself a share of that £1,000 prize. But first, to make sure we're all on the same page, let's smooth over some of the rules. I'll be asking you 10 multiple choice general knowledge questions, and our aim is to really put those brains of yours to the test. So we'll be covering a broad range of topics. As soon as the countdown clock starts, that 10 seconds runs out fast. So choose your answer quickly but accurately, because if you get all 10 questions correct within the time limit, we'll reward you with a well-earned slice of that £1,000 pie. And the fewer winners we have, the bigger the share. So tricky questions means bigger prizes. If you come across a question you can't answer and you do happen to get it wrong, you'll just have to tune in tomorrow and give it another go. But remember, this is our final week. As the country gradually takes those steps back towards normality, we'll be finishing our daily games with the last one this Friday, so please make the most of it. Right then, Mal Plussers, we have all of the rules in place, and that puts us in the perfect position to start answering those questions. Starting with question 1. How many different categories are there in the game of Trivial Pursuit? 4, 6, or 8? If you're playing with us today, there's a safe bet you're a die-hard quiz fan and you've played a few rounds of Trivial Pursuit. So can you dig up the answer? There are 6 different categories coordinated by colour, and after every category conquered by a player, a coloured wedge goes into your wheel-shaped playing piece. The 2 creators of the game were inspired while playing Scrabble, and although they were taken to court by a trivia book author named Fred Worth, accusing them of using some of his factoids as questions, there was no grounding to sue because you can't copyright trivia. Moving on to question 2. Which cartoon character had the maiden name Bouvier? Betty Rubble, Marge Simpson, or Morticia Adams? In the show, she's the daughter of Jacqueline and Clancy Bouvier, who both only appear in a couple of episodes. They had 3 daughters, named Patty, Selma, and Marge Bouvier, or as you probably know her, Marge Simpson, after taking the name of her husband Homer. Marge was named after creator Matt Groening's mother Margaret. In fact, all of the characters are based on Matt Groening's family. Even the famous Simpsons address, Evergreen Terrace, is the street he used to live on. And if you look closely at Homer's ear on the show, his hair represents an M for Matt, and his ear is the shape of a G for Groening. With 2 questions down already, we still have 868 of you in the game. Well done to you. Remember, don't worry if you've been eliminated. There's always tomorrow's game, and we'd love you to play along till the end. Let's move on to question 3. What is genophobia? Fear of knees, fear of humour, fear of knowledge? One strangely common phobia is compaunophobia, which is classified as a fear of buttons. That being clothes buttons as opposed to buttons on a keypad or phone. Genophobia is a fear of knees, coming from the Latin genu, meaning knee. It's defined as a fear of your own knees, someone else's knees, and the fear of kneeling itself. Sufferers of the condition usually have their symptoms sparked by the sight of knees that triggers a memory of discomfort you might experience when kneeling on something uncomfortable. Here's question 4. What was the first name of Alison Steadman's character in Gavin and Stacey? Paige, Pat, or Pam? Not only was the show a cult hit, it gave birth to a new curry dish, which is now served in some restaurants. In one of the episodes, the character Nessa orders something called a jam Danny hash, which she claims is a duck dish cooked with honey and lime, but it didn't really exist. However, in 2010, some Indian restaurants in Wales added the creation to their menu in the show's honour. It's Pam who's Gavin's mother in the show. The show, which was produced by fellow comedian Steve Coogan, ran for 3 series and returned recently in December 2019 with a Christmas special starring the original cast. Let's see what we have for you in question 5. A scold is the collective noun for which group of birds? Jays, chaffinches, or magpies. With collective nouns for birds such as an unkindness of ravens or a murder of crows, you might wonder where they get these descriptions. The origins of these collectives seem to be born out of the British aristocracy, who named these groups while hunting as a humorous way of distinguishing the groups of animals they were going out to hunt. And if you were on a countryside walk, you might perhaps see a scold of jays. With regards to the other two, it would be a parliament of magpies or a charm of chaffinches. And with around 620 species of birds here in the UK, that's a lot of collective nouns to come up with. In the spirit of collective nouns, there's still a joy of quizzes remaining. We have 273 players getting that one right. Well done, Daniel032, Joshua 1, Trivia Emperor, and Melvin being amongst them. Well done to you for getting halfway. Let's see what the second half holds for you. It's question 6. What is the indentation on the bottom of a wine bottle called? Heel, punt, or capsule? Originally, the indent was functional in that it was pushed up by the glass blower to make sure the bottle would be able to stand upright. It also creates an optical illusion to make the bottle look larger than it is. This indentation is called a punt, and although it's now there more so as a tradition rather than to serve a function, it does serve to collect the sediment of older wine, and it also gives the waiter a good indent to place their thumb when they pour it. On to question 7. Who made the first coins to be minted in Britain? The people of the Iron Age, the Romans, the Anglo-Saxons? This is a question featured on the British citizenship test, so let's find out just how much you know about Great Britain. So old were these coins that they probably weren't used as money, but exchanged as gifts between rulers and buried in the ground as offerings to the gods. Around 5,000 of these coins were found in an excavation in Hallerton, Leicestershire, revealing that it was the people of the Iron Age who made the first British coins in the mid-1st century. On them were inscriptions which are thought to be the first evidence of writing in Britain, but no picture of a monarch. If you've ever wondered why the Queen is facing to the right, it's been tradition since the 17th century for monarchs to face the opposite direction to their predecessor. With one exception, Edward VIII refused to follow this tradition and preferred to face left, the same way his father, George V, had faced. And well done to 101 of you who got that right and wouldn't have any trouble passing the British citizenship test. Moving on to the final third of the quiz, with question 8. What vitamin does an egg not contain? Vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin D? An egg's main components are the eggshell, which is made almost entirely of calcium, the yolk and the egg white, known scientifically as the albumin. It's shaped as an oval to make it both easy to pass due to its smoothness, but also to increase the time it might take to roll away due to the slightly uneven swivel of it. An egg is high in vitamins D and B, but it doesn't contain vitamin C. If you need a strong dose of vitamin C, be more adventurous than just having a glass of orange juice. Try blending up some broccoli and Brussels sprouts, which both have a much higher concentration than orange juice does. Here's question 9. What is the most populous state capital in the USA? Phoenix, Tallahassee, or Boston? The state capital which is the least populous is Juneau in Alaska, with around 32,000 inhabitants. However, the state that is the least populous is Wyoming, with just over 500,000 people. However, the most populous state capital, and the answer to our question, is Phoenix in Arizona, which is the only state capital with a population of more than 1 million residents. It has over 1.6 million people, and just a few famous people from there include Oscar-winning actress Emma Stone, musicians Alice Cooper and Stevie Nicks, as well as multi-Oscar-winning director Steven Spielberg. Only one more question to go, and we still have 42 players playing for that prize money. Well done to you. We have Red 10, Wesley, Gryffindor, Gilg, and Joshua 1. You're among the brainiacs who have reached this far. Good luck. Here's question 10. Which of these contains the highest percentage of water? Grapefruit, watermelon, or lettuce? fruits and vegetables aside, delving into the animal kingdom, the jellyfish contains an astonishing 95% water, and it's estimated that humans are 60% water, so you can understand why it's so important to drink around 4 liters of water per day to stay healthy. The answer here is lettuce at 96% water, with watermelon being around 92%, and grapefruit coming in third place with 88% of it being water. And that's 10 questions done and dusted. That was a tough round that saw a lot of eliminations. We have 13 winners today. 17% went with grapefruit and 52% went with watermelon. Congratulations to Blank, Poe, Swithering, Elana, Wesley, Icero, Carthink, Shredder, and to all of you who managed to answer all 10 correctly. A brilliant mastery of the art of quizzing. So that's another Mal Plus Trivia Live game down, and we only have 3 more to go. Also, a thank you to the over 35,000 of you registering to play in the last 2 months. There's been a total of just over £40,000 that we've given away, and more than 2,000 of you have finished the game a little richer than when you started. It's been a blast. That's all for today. Let's see if this week you can find your way into the Winners' Hall of Fame. We've had some repeat winners in the past, but nobody is yet to win every day of the week. Can you do it? We look forward to welcoming you back tomorrow. Enjoy the afternoon, and goodbye for now.